Hello and welcome to Buckman's Model Mania. Today we're going to be working on the Disney Dollhouse in French, Stage 5. Got this from a friend, bought it. He bought it somehow from Hachette in France, and he was willing to part with it and sell it to me. So let's see, it looks like we are going to need scissors, which I should have. Just cleaned up. I had set the scissors here somewhere. Scissors right there. Okay, so it says we're going to need scissors and we're going to need some tape. I just happen to have tape handy as well. So let's turn the page and see what we got to do. I believe that is what it's going to look like when we're done. And so let's pull out the parts, and there are actually we'll go back one page and look at some of the parts as well, because some of the parts in here are decorations for later on. Cupcake. Actually, we have two cupcakes, one for Mickey, one for Minnie. We have Steamboat Willie, boat from Steamboat Willie. And a train. And I just noticed that it says on here which room they're going to go in. So the train, Cupcakes, and Steamboat Willie will all go into the Mickey Mouse room, as will this window. So let's get the other parts out. We've got the wallpaper, as well as the, I don't know if you call it wainscoting. It's just decorations there for the top of the wall. We've got this wooden piece here, and that's right there is where the decoration is going to go, except, just looking at this, I had it actually the wrong way, I think. Okay, no, it goes that way, and there's a slant on this end, so that's going to be a little bit interesting. And then the wall itself, let's get this plastic out of the way. This is going to fit on here. It's actually pretty snug. I don't think it goes on just yet, but it's going to fit on here something like that. And I can see what is going to happen is it's going to line up. The other wall is going to come in, butt up against it, and the other piece of the trim is going to go on there like that. So let me get this out. And it says in the instructions, I believe this is what it says, I don't read French, that you want to make sure that you start and end with the Mickey head. So basically, it should, because it starts right there with the Mickey head. From what I'm seeing in the pictures, you're going to line up this Mickey head with the end here. Going to go across, and it's not quite going to line up the way that they're saying. So I'm going to bring it over a little bit. Because what they're showing them in here is that it's going to cut right between the Mickey heads, and if I put it on like that, it's right at the end of the Mickey head. So I'm going to pause the camera, I'm going to put this on here, and I'll be back and show you what it looks like. Okay, so I've got it on there. You can see Mickey head, roughly same spot on both ends. This is where you take your really sharp scissors and just clip it off the ends. I do have to say it is very humid here today, so I may end up having to glue this down to keep it from coming off. It looks pretty good right now. I'm very pleased with that. So let me get rid of these scraps. And truthfully, should it, for some reason, if it does not stay on there, it's not going to really affect the overall vibe of the house. And I use the back of the paintbrush to kind of burnish it down in the corners here. It still sticks out a little bit here, which is fine. That's, if I have to glue it, that's going to give me a surface. Same over here. It's going to give me a little spot right there. You can see how it's folded over, that I can actually apply a little bit of glue to. So next thing it does, it's basically telling you to make sure you've got this facing the right way. The way you know for sure is the little one there. And they want you to take your paper. I'm sure, yeah, it's going to be basically the same as every other one. You're going to want to make sure that you line up your paper down here in the bottom right corner with the one at the top. The white edge is over here. I'm guessing that's probably going to wrap around. Actually, that's not going to wrap around like I did in the Moomin house, and it does not work that well, to be honest. It keeps coming up. But you're going to want to take your paper, if I can get it to start. There we go. You're going to want to take your paper, avoiding touching the paper and reducing any of the tackiness of the glued surface. It says to fold it over about 1 centimeter. And the reason for that is so that you've got something underneath to pull on while you're doing this. I am going to have to actually see what that says, because it looks like it's telling you to put something over top. It is. It's saying to put glue over top. But let me go back here, and actually this could take a couple of minutes. I'm going to pause. Never mind. These are going to be short videos anyway, especially after the length of the first 4. Each of those, the doors for the beginning of the house were very, as far as I'm concerned, very epic. They look beautiful. You can see there, I've got it lined up here across the bottom. So what I'm going to do is pull it across like this, and you push it down on the edges at the same time. When you get it actually going, it will peel itself. The backing paper will peel itself, because what you're trying to do is avoid any creases. So you push it across here, gently, gently. I go back every now and then and pull on the backing paper itself. And you'll notice I am being very, very careful not to push in the center, because the center is wide open. Push it down all the way around the edges, and then take a sharp knife. I have a scalpel, but it is well used, so I'm going to switch blades. Matter of fact, I can do that right now. I don't have to go across the room. I was going to put the blade away, but for convenience sake, I'm just going to set it there. Be very careful if you should buy a scalpel, because they are very sharp. They are designed to cut skin and flesh. See, in case you've never seen it, there's a little notch in there. And this piece just slides into that notch. This is the most tricky part, because you got to pull this down without cutting yourself. and it'll pop down like that. And then you can take your scalpel and holding your piece down to the table, just run it lightly across like that. You saw it flip up a little bit. And I always, don't ask me why, but I always save the extra pieces of wallpaper from all the houses that I do like this, all 2 of them, just in case somewhere along the line I need a scrap of paper for something. Just very gently run it down all 4 sides, getting as perfect as you can. There will be window frames in here, but the closer it is to perfect, the better the window frame is going to fit. And you can see there, I missed just the very last corner here. And then I'll save this as well. Why? I don't know. Just seems like the thing to do. There is the first window frame. There's actually a little speck of dust underneath there. I wonder if I saw it when as the reflection hit it. There's a little speck of dust under there. Grand scheme of things, it's not going to matter, but it's there. So let me pause while I go get my tablet and read what this actually is telling me to do. I do know that it's telling you to put stuff away, wrap it. The doors they actually came with a little stand. I've got them sitting there in the stand. Eventually they will end up put away and wrapped like that. But for right now, let me go get the tablet and I'll let you know what it says to do and we will proceed with that. Okay, so I was seeing the picture, and what it's actually telling me to do is to apply glue on the back here, press it into here, and then to use tape to hold it in place. I'm just looking. Okay, there's very important. I was looking to see, it says to line up these edges. I wanted to line up this edge over here. So, and I'm not going to hold it in place for 24 hours the way they say with tape. I do have some clamps. I will probably use clamps on it. Got so many glues up in front of me. This is probably clogged because it's been a while. It appears that it is. Bear with me while I figure out where I put my paper clip that I used to clear it. There it is. Okay. Residual glue from last time I cleared it. Oh yeah, that's good and properly blocked. Set that down. Now it's got flow capability. Goes on this way. What I'm going to do instead of putting it on the back of the molding, I'm going to put it on here. I'm going to put it on the wall side and not go all the way to the end. Just looking at this. Okay. Put it on based on which way the Mickey heads are facing. You want this one flush. There we go. You want it flat all the way across, top and bottom. They say to hold it for 24 hours. I don't know whether it's going to need that. I do know that I would prefer to make sure I hold it down than find out that I needed to and didn't. So instead of tape, I'm going to use a couple of my plastic clamps here. because I don't want to get any, I don't want tape to have the possibility of grabbing either of the wallpapers here. So with that, oh, there they are. I was sitting here going, where are those? That is what we do in stage number 5. A little bit shorter. The stages are going to be a lot quicker now because the initial 4 are to get you to fall in love with it, and then, you know, we go from there. Hope you're enjoying this. I am. I'm building this for Andrea, my wife, and hopefully you'll stick around and see how it goes together. Like and subscribe. Hit the bell icon to be notified of any time I post new videos. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Have a great day. Have a great day tomorrow. And I will see you in the next video.